Hi there, welcome to my channel. Please do me a big favor, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. And also, Robinhood, there's a link in the description below. If you guys sign up using my link, you can get anywhere from $5 to up to $200 worth of free stocks from Robinhood. Please use that link and get that free money. So this is my portfolio. As you guys can see, we're at $250,000. And the focus of my portfolio is dividend income, because I want to make money now. I want to get paid on a monthly basis. So as you guys can see here, I am estimated to make close to $60,000 on an annual basis from this portfolio, and close to about $5,000 a month, $160 a day, and even $6.78 per hour. So even when I don't go to work, even when I'm sleeping, this thing is still making me money. And the whole purpose of this is to make money on a monthly basis, because I need the money now. I know there's some people investing for the future, and that's fine. But I need money now. I want to make money now. I want to get paid now. And that's the focus of this portfolio. And so far today, I will be getting paid one dividend, just one, from the Dow Jones Industrial Average, $1.13. And so if we go back here, today was a pretty good day in the market, as you guys can see. I am up $810. And today I'd like to talk to you guys about taking risk. So obviously I'm not talking about like bungee jumping, even though bungee jumping is risky. I've done it before. Skydiving is risky. I've never done that, but it is risky. So I'm not talking about that kind of risk where you put your life at risk, but I'm talking about taking financial risk, using a certain amount of money, risking that money in the markets with the potential of getting highly rewarded. As the saying goes, no risk, no reward. And that saying is obviously true. Now, if I had never taken any financial risk whatsoever, ever, if I had never done it, if I had never started taking some type of financial risk, then financially I wouldn't be where I'm at. I've taken financial risks in the stock market, in cryptocurrencies, in all kinds of different investments. I've done Fundrise. I did Celsius for a time. I don't know if you heard about that. That was a cryptocurrency interest paying system. And I took a risk at that. And the good thing is that things panned out for me. I made a lot of money there on Celsius. I made a lot of money on Voyager. Those were very risky plays for me. And both of those companies went bankrupt. But thank God I was able to pull out all my principal and all of the gains before they both went bankrupt. Another risky bet that I took was a Hex token. You may have heard of Hex token. On YouTube, lots of people were talking about it. It was very popular. Lots of people were excited about Hex token. And so I bought some Hex token when it was worth fractions of a cent. I only took a small amount of risk. I was willing to lose $100 on Hex. So I put in $100 and I put it into their interest accumulation system. So it was compounding, I believe, at 30% interest. I locked it in for one entire year. As soon as the year was over, I pulled out all of my money. When it was all said and done, $100 turned into $4,000. So that really turned out really good. And so there's lots of little things like that financially where I took some amount of risk, where I calculated the risk and the risk to reward ratio, where I was willing to put some money to risk and obtain some reward. Now, not all of my risk taking financially has been beneficial. Sometimes I have lost money in the past, especially when I first started, I did lose money. But one of the things that happens when you start to take risk financially, you start to kind of build up this tolerance towards risk. For example, let's look at this Tesla. As you guys can see here on Tesla, I am down 10,044 $10,422.81. And so I've taken a risk on Tesla. But Tesla has been paying me about $700 a month on average. If you look down here, well, it's close to about $700 a month that I'm getting paid every month from Tesla from owning it. And so yeah, I've taken a risk. I calculated the risk. I know what the CTF is made to do, and so I'm willing to take the risk. And currently, I am down, as you guys can see, over $10,000. But I don't care. I'm not going to sell this because if I sell it right now, I lose over $10,000. So I have no reason to sell this. And since I've become accustomed to taking risk, I'm not really worried about it, because I've built a tolerance to taking a certain amount of risk. And so, for example, let's look at something that really isn't very risky at all. Let's look at this ETF that it seems to just have this pattern. It's this one, SGov, right here. Now, this particular ETF seems to have this pattern. So if you look at the 1 week, if you look at the 1 month, if you look at the 3 month, let's look at 3 month. As you guys can see here, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here that is very obvious. Once this thing hits the end of the month, it crashes. And then it starts all over again. It starts to go up and up and up and up and up and up until it hits the end of the month. Then it crashes. Then it continues the same cycle over and over and over again. If we look out further for 1 year, as you guys can see, this is the pattern. It crashes, and then it rises for a month. At the end of the month, what's it going to do? It's going to crash again. Then it's going to rise again. So this is not financial advice, but obviously the optimal time to be buying this is in this dip here, right? So if you're buying this in this dip, you're risking, let's say you're buying 1 share on a monthly basis in this dip. Then you're allowing it to ride up, all the way up. In the meantime, you're collecting a dividend from this on a monthly basis. This also pays a dividend. If you go down here, currently, it's going to pay me $2.29. On a monthly basis, it's paying every month. The last payment was 42 cents. The only different spot on this thing is when it takes a double dip in December or towards November. So if you guys look here, in November 29th, or at the end of the month in November, that's when you need to sell the whole thing. So if you're buying 1 share in here, in these dips, over and over and over again for the rest of the year, collecting dividends, and then keep in mind, November 30th, you sell the whole thing. Because in December, it takes a double dip. And in December, it pays 2 dividends. But if you sell it in November, you're not going to qualify for those dividends. But it's okay, because it takes a double dip, and then you buy the whole thing right down here. If you buy this right down here and you continue with it, I mean, this is pretty much one of the safest bets that you can make here in the stock market. So there's all kinds of risks. There's all kinds of levels of risks. Some things are more risky. Some things are less risky. It just depends on your tolerance of risk. Now let's look at a different ETF. Let's look at the S&P 500, which would be VOO, ticker symbol VOO. Here we are, Vanguard S&P 500. So let's look at this. This is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. If you look at the long 1-year track record, or let's go to the maximum track record. As you guys can see here, this thing, since it was created, it's created for growth, and basically it's just gone up over the years. It just keeps going up and up and up and up. There are various dips, but for the most part, it's been going up. Now, this doesn't pay a monthly dividend, it pays a quarterly dividend, and that's the reason why I don't hold it. But for the most part, you can tell what it's going to do continuously, year over year over year. So there's different amounts of risk that you can take. And let's just say you decide to take no risk. Let's say, oh, well, I don't want to risk my money. I don't want to put my money in the stock market. I don't want to buy cryptos. I don't want to take any risk whatsoever. I want to put my money under the mattress, or I want to keep my money in a box, or I just want to keep my money in the bank. Now, in a way, you are still taking a risk by keeping your money in the bank. Because you can look this up. The dollar has lost over 90% of its buying power over the years. So if you keep your money in the bank and it's not making anything, it's not making any money, then you are losing buying power. Your dollar is losing value. And that's why nowadays, when you go to the grocery store, you're like, well, I'm buying the same amount of stuff. I'm buying the same groceries that I've bought for years and years and years. But now, the price of all these groceries is way higher. What's going on? Well, inflation, and the dollars that you have aren't as valuable as before. The dollar has lost value. And so that in itself is a risk. Keeping dollars and not doing anything with them, that in itself is also a risk. So therefore, why would I hold dollars? Why keep dollars when I can buy something that pays me money every month? And yes, I'm not saying to get rid of all of the dollars that you have. I do have a fully funded emergency fund. I do keep those dollars. But anything above that, anything beyond my emergency fund, why would I keep it? Why would I hold on to it? Why would I keep it in my bank? Why would I keep those dollars in my bank when they're not doing anything, they're not paying me anything, and they are losing value, losing buying power? So for me, this is not financial advice, but everything that I make above my emergency fund, I put in here. So that's how I've grown this account. And it's grown and it's paying me dividends. And even the dividends I'm putting back in for the most part. So it just continues to grow. It's just like when you throw this snowball down the hill, and the snowball just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, even not taking any financial risk is risky because your dollars are losing value in your bank. So if you do happen to have any extra money, this is not financial advice, but you should set aside some money, I suppose, for taking risk. Remember, no risk, no reward. Not financial advice. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Please use my link in the description below. Use the Robinhood link. Get that free money. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. God bless. See you in the next one.